Welcome to Modified Dreams Not Deterred. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Have you ever wondered, can you substitute filling your car with water instead of gasoline? Well, it sounds like a very stupid question, but is it? In order for you to go from point A to point B, you have to make sure that your tank is filled. Now, where am I going with this? If your tank only gives you enough mile for you to travel 4 hours, prior to your tank getting empty, you anticipate your next stop at the next gas station. And if you're anything like me or hubby, you would probably be thinking about where's the next BJ's gas station, because maybe you have membership. Or do you decide to drive that car until you're on empty, completely out, and wherever it stops, you call AAA, hoping they will come to replenish your gas? The same way how having a vehicle, we have to maintain it by ensuring it has the liquid it needs to function effectively and efficiently over a period of time, which also includes keeping up with your services, washing your car, vacuuming your car, and all that good stuff. The same way we should think about our body. What are you filling up your body with? I think one of the hardest things in life is when we feel a sense of emptiness. When we feel a sense of, oh, my phone is moving. When we feel a sense of emptiness, it is not always because we have so much issues in life that we're dealing with. Sometimes it's because we pour out so much to other people that we forget to pour into ourselves. And for many of you, or many of us, who are always giving words of wisdom, who's always there for people when they need to speak to you, when they need help from you, whatever those capacities are that you serve in, there are times when you might find yourself in a position where you feel like there's no one to pour into you. And many times it's because you're so used to always being strong and you always having it together that people don't always recognize that even the people who always have it together, the people who always seems to be high functioning, there is a time that that person needs a pause and they need to replenish what they themselves are given. I remember many years ago, I was really going through a period in my life that no one recognized that I was going through a very trying period. And I remember one day one of my aunts called and she said she was just checking up on me. And she asked me, how are you doing? Not, are you okay? Is everything okay? She paused and she said, my niece, so how are you really doing? And I remember I just cried. I cried, and the reason I cried is because in that moment I was able to release my burden. I didn't have to tell her how I was doing. But the mere fact that asking me how I was doing in the way she did, in how she was concerned, her tone of voice and stuff like that, it allowed me to not be strong in that moment, but to breathe, to feel, and to let it all out. So sometimes you or I or us should reach out to people sometimes and ask, how are you really doing? And when they tell you how they're doing, you need to also be open to offer some words of wisdom or support. Don't ask how you're doing just to be nosy. Don't ask how someone is doing just because you want to get the information to go have a side conversation. Be genuinely concerned about those questions, because as long as we're human, at some point in our lives, we're all going to go through something in life. We're all going to know someone who is going through something in life. So you need to replenish as well. Yes, we can talk about the type of food that we should eat. It should be nourishing. We should have a balanced diet. Eat, sleep, and exercise, pray, and all that stuff. Yes, human needs those things. But think about the depth and the core of what you are pouring into your spirit. Think about the type of music you listen to. Sometimes when people are going through a season in their lives, you may be drawn to listening to gospel. You may be drawn to listening to inspirational talks. You may be drawn to listen to more upbeat music or different genre of music. Be aware of what you are filling your thoughts with. Fill your thoughts, fill your body, fill your temple with things that build you up. Things that give you perspective in your lowest low. Yes, it's okay to feel empty, but what's not okay is for you to stay there. So if today you're feeling a sense of emptiness, ask yourself, what is it that I'm missing? But ask yourself, what is it that I have that I may be able to change my perspective with? Because at certain levels of life, we all see things different. So maybe in my 20s, my feeling of emptiness or my feeling of pain or unsurety, maybe more focused on, well, if somebody didn't treat me that way, maybe I wouldn't have felt that way. But as I get older, my perspective about those empty feelings is not so much about my outward, it's more so about my inward. What is it at this very moment that I need? Who can provide that for me? But also, how can I provide that for myself? What tools do I have? At the end of the day, for me, or for many of us, we have a relationship with the Creator. He who created us knows our needs before we were formed in our mother's wombs. So when you are feeling down, tap into that spirit, because God understands. God understands your needs. God understands your wants, and He fulfills it. And maybe I have a desire for something right now that God just has not granted. Maybe He has not granted it because I am not ready yet to receive it. Maybe I'm holding on to something that I need to let go. Maybe I'm not prepared and equipped enough to deal with that which I'm asking for. Maybe I just need a pause. You see, I'm always in overdrive, and I feel like things need to be completed within a certain period. I feel like we all have a purpose, and we all have a place and a time in this life. And so there are certain things that were placed on our hearts that needs to be accomplished. And so it's imperative that we are making that difference. But in those moments, we sometimes forget that self-preservation is key. Am I filling up myself with enough of God's word to comfort me in those moments when I just need to be reassured that I just need to stand still in this moment? So yes, you might have taken care of all those kids. Yes, you might have given them all your life's goals and all your life's financial capabilities, and now you are older, or now your kids are grown up, and you're asking yourself, I have a need right now that's not being fulfilled. Be at peace knowing that you fulfilled your responsibility as a parent in their lives. I believe as parents, we just have to do our best and be at peace that we made our sacrifices, that we did everything that we could do within our power to be the best parent we could be for our children. Because the same way you have an opinion of your parents, your kids will have an opinion of you. My kids will have an opinion of me when they get older. But the truth is, it all starts to make sense as you get older, because There's no perfection. The other thing is, know who you speak with when you're having a sense of emptiness. There's an old saying in the Caribbean that says, misery love company. If you are empty, do not find yourself in the midst of someone else that's empty. Unless that person have a great perspective of how to pray in that sense of emptiness, how to find resources, how to get out that funk. Find people in your life that builds you up. Find people in your life that makes you believe the impossible is possible. Because everyone has a journey. Everyone has overcome something in their lives, or will have to overcome something in their lives that they probably never thought that they could. And that's where strength and faith and wisdom and dedication comes in. Now you're saying, well, you don't really understand. You don't know my circumstances. No, I don't. But God knows your circumstances. And that very thing that's keeping you up at night, it doesn't have to keep you up at night. Because one day it will become a testimony, and it too will pass. That one thing you laughed at, you'll laugh at it and be like, wow. And here I thought this was killing me. And here I thought that was the worst thing that could have happened. Life is a process. And if you're saying that this person hurt you or is hurting you, life is a cycle. Sometimes in life, that same person will come back to apologize. Or the same thing that that person wished for you, they themselves will go through it. But never rejoice in someone's downfall. Because again, we all have a journey and no one knows what tomorrow will bring. So again, think about a car on its journey to the destination that you are trying to reach. You're anticipating, you're looking at your GPS, you're reading the signs for the next gas station. If you have a quarter tank left, you're telling yourself, okay, I might get to this point and then I really need to stop because I don't want to run out of gas on the highway and have to be delayed waiting on someone to help me. Think about your life the same way. You're on a journey. You are on a journey. Are you going to wait until you're completely empty, hoping that someone will fill you up? Or are you going to acknowledge the feeling of emptiness before you're completely empty and do something about it? Replenish your life with hope. Replenish your life with peace. Replenish your life with some clarity. Go for a walk. See a different environment. See nature. I think one of the most beautiful things is to go for a walk in a beautiful park. Go camping. Go sit by the beach. Go walk on the beach and watch the sun rises or set. There's a peace that comes with that. Remember, we're all going through this journey. We're all outpouring something out of us. Whether or not you have kids or dogs or a business or a dream or a goal, you're constantly pouring out things through your thoughts, your energy. You also need to replenish that. So in addition to you making sure you are having a nutritious meal or making sure that you are staying active, you also need to think about spiritually what you are pouring into your spirit. Update your playlist. Have a vision board. Have a diary. Record how you're feeling in this very moment of emptiness and revisit that in a couple of years, or revisit that in 6 months, or revisit that in a year, revisit that in a week. Because I can guarantee you that how you're feeling today will change next week if you switch your perspective, modify what's going on. You may not know why you're in a funk or why you're feeling so overwhelmed. Many times you are feeling feelings of someone close to you. Have you ever been in a case where you woke up one day and you're so overwhelmed and you just want to cry? There's some darkness around you, and then later on you heard that someone in the family passed. Sometimes you're feeling certain things because someone else within your family or your friendship is going through it. That's when you got to pray and ask God for mercy. Pray and ask God for keeping power, and pray and ask God for peace. So modify your thoughts today. That emptiness that you're feeling is just a signal on your dashboard that's saying you will need to be refilled soon. Don't wait until I'm empty. Because if I'm empty, it's going to take a longer time for me to be refilled. Either by you or someone else that you have to wait on. So like driving a car, when you're thinking about watching your tank, whether or not it's empty or it's quarter full or it's half full, also reflect on your life, that as you go through this journey of life, your tank is clicking. Be sure to keep it full or half full, or keep pouring back into yourself what you're pouring out to others. So remember, you do not have to deter your dreams. You can modify them.